Right. That appears to be working. Let's move this microphone a little bit. Let's get started. Howdy, careful boy. All right, so the first thing that we're going to work on is the Miku, as we want to start building that as soon as we can, understandably. But I need to double check that it can handle this sort of flight regime that we're going to try and push it to. And part of that is going to be making it lighter. Part of it is going to be doing other things to it. I'm going to go ahead and load the one for my sandbox save, which has already been switched over to the aluminum fuselage. And yeah, we're gonna probably rework these wings. As they're kind of in need of reworking. Go ahead and move this up a little bit. That stripe still. And where does that put our center of mass? Yeah, so this thing can actually handle Mach 2 from the get-go. It doesn't have a very good afterburner. That shouldn't matter too much. Okay. So I am gonna move this guy. I can frickin' grab it a little bit forward to about there. And we need it probably a bit more up as well. I need to rotate these a bit. Maybe not. Might just need a second set of them. Just to blend in a bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, we need to move this. Whoa, not like that. This. And then we're gonna move these a bit forward as well. if I can ever actually grab the things. That? Yes. Okay. We'll call that good enough. I might do something like this. Just so that it's a bit more sort of blended, maybe? Essentially, I want to make this body as aerodynamic as we can get it. Without really compromising anything else. Which means these are going to go back a bit more. And we're going to really just try and blend it. Okay. Yeah, something like that. So, what are our limits here in terms of like wingspan? A lot. And seemingly no mass limits, which is good. Okay, let's try here. We don't want them to be particularly upturned. I don't know why they're really wanting to turn, like, angle up for some reason, but that's all right. Okay. So that actually might just be about where we want it. Ooh, not like that. Okay. And then control surfaces. And we're going to put a T-tail on it, which will help offset that control moment a bit so that our center pressure is where it needs to be. But, I mean, honestly, it's not far off. I would like the center of mass to, the dry center of mass at least, to be a bit further back, but that might be the best we get. Okay. Okay. Let's do this really quickly. And then... Oops. Let me... I will be going for just a second. I gotta go grab my meds. All right. Go ahead and switch sources. And I should be back. Whew. All right. So obviously not that big. Nor that color, but something kind of like that. Little shorter. That should do the trick. Oh shit. I think I just grabbed the part that I didn't want to actually delete. Okay. And then don't save quite yet. Gonna just grab the tail part off of that. Put it onto here. Okay. In theory, this should glide and cruise quite a bit more stably than the previous version. We'll just go ahead and put that back on. And then copy the color of this. And we'll take this out and see how it flies. It's kind of a tall tail is the only thing. Maybe that's better though? I'm not 100% certain. But put the landing gear on. And then remove from symmetry, remove from symmetry, set text, Miku? Then move all this up a little bit. And let's make these white as well. just to give it a little bit more color variance. And that should be good. And let's just go see how it flies. Okay, that gear is just about the right size. Though I worry that this is not going to be big enough or long enough. So let's scale that up a little bit. That's good enough. And then just extend the strut, and that should be good. I'm gonna just move these up actually. And well, hold on, because we might have the gear that can just go in the body. That'd probably be easier. Yeah, max safe load 20. 18's probably good enough. Maybe don't flip. Maybe do flip. Okay. Get these a little bit more into the body. And then we'll just unextend this. Yeah. That should be good. Kind of a low gear profile, but that's really not that bad. And we'll start it in the daytime so that we can actually see. Oh, because this is locked to not right. Okay. Cool. So retract the gear. We're gonna start it in the air, as that'll just make our lives easier. And let's see how this thing flies. Should have the same oomph as the previous version, just hopefully a bit better sort of lift to drag. Put it there so that y'all can see it. Get Ferrum up so that I can see my Mach number. So we're trying to find a way to cruise this thing at 22 kilometers, which is quite high, but it's also decently light. So it should be capable of that. We just might have to reduce the wing strength a little bit, which isn't great, but we can do. And specifically, it has to cruise with a vertical speed plus or minus 10, I think, is what the X-Plane contract said. So not only do we have to get it up there, but we have to keep it up there within certain parameters. But we should be capable of that. God, 22 kilometers is quite high, though. Hmm. I'm wondering if ditching the delta wing for a more like swept wing might help us. Only thing is, I think this thing has to be able to go to Mach 2. I am gonna see real quick though if it's an air intake issue. And if when we cut these, does our thrust go up? Yes. But only marginally. Let's see if we can get it to even touch 22 kilometers. Not likely. Okay. Let me go double check that it does have to hit that speed requirement, because if not, swept wings is the answer. Okay. I think it's this one. Oh, no, we actually... It has to be subsonic. Ah. Ah. Oh, this is the one that I was thinking of. But we have to do these two as well. I believe... Yeah, Mach 2 supersonic, but also stratospheric research and high altitude, which this thing's going to be more cut out for if we get it swept wings. We might be able to bring it to Mach 2 with swept wings. That's not impossible to imagine. It's hard to imagine, but... Excuse me. That should be doable. Alright. Let's go ahead and remove the decals for a little bit. Remove the control surfaces for a little bit as well. And just see what we're capable of. Should still be pretty much well within spec. Okay. Wonder if we can bring this thing to 40 kilometers. Like, I would doubt it. We'd almost certainly need rockets, but if we launch a rocket plane from 20 kilometers up, the chances are that it can probably hit 40 kilometers up. Okay. I feel like we should make this shorter. Just minimize drag. Come on. Please. Thank you. Alright. Okay. Oh shit. This was not meant to be placed with symmetry. Remove. Okay. Yeah, I know. We don't need to fly it very well to that altitude. We just need to touch it. So what I'm thinking is we just replace the center engine with a cluster of XLR11s. We could probably do it. Alternatively, we just knock that one out with the X15 equivalent one. And that would also be fine. Okay. I kind of don't love the sweep of these wings. Like I like that better, I think. That's roughly at the same place. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm not saying that we take jet engines to get up there by any means. I'm saying we basically just launch the jet engine stage of the plane from 22 kilometers where we're already kind of cruising at. Okay. Let's see how this does us. Simulate and send it. I also want to see if anything is really compatible with both Mach 2 flight and 22-kilometer flight. Because ideally we want to do this with as few planes as possible. But we could always just rip the wings off of Miku, put new wings on it, and make it a supersonic aircraft. That is okay. It's a little bit unprecedented, but it's okay. Okay. Launch. And ignition. Oh, God. Oh, lordy me. Oh, because we have no yaw control, do we? Sure don't. That's how you get into a flat spin. Okay. Well, let's try that one more time. Like that it's current biome runway. Very astute observation. Okay. Moderation enabled. Don't stall, please. What the fuck is your problem? Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay. Okay. I don't know if we like want the wings very far back or something. How do we bring this to really high altitudes? What did the B2's wings look like? Or U2, not B2. They're straight trapezoidal, right? That's U2 the band. U2 spy plane, thank you. Yeah, those are more or less trapezoidal. It's also only a single engine. Is it a single engine aircraft? It sure looks like it. Let's see. Yeah, one General Electric F-118 turbofan. Jesus. So... Okay. Probably don't need central engine, if I'm being honest. So let's just not worry about that for a bit. Um, I'm gonna rip this thing's paint scheme apart real quick. Hmm. Actually, let's not do that. Let's just move this up and off the aircraft for a little, so that I can get access to these and to make them a bit shorter. Move these up, make them a bit longer. Doesn't really matter which. Okay. Go ahead and get rid of that menu. Um, okay. I have an idea, though it may not work very well. Which is, if we're not going to use central fuselage, don't have it. Essentially. And then we can just take this, if I can grab it, this stripe, and do this. And there we go. So that gives us a lot of fuel. Like, probably more than we need. God, is it all in these tanks? Sure is. Wow. All right. Well, that works, I suppose. Just get a really small one. Okay. Let me see. Your choose intakes are there. Um, we might want to mimic that, if I'm being honest, as not the worst place to put intakes. God damn, if it'll let me. Okay. Oops. So that's going to be the main body of the aircraft. I worry about these though, because they jut out in a way that makes me feel like Realism Overhaul's not going to actually treat them like they're there. But we'll go with that for right now. What is this? Fascinating. X2 Miku. Fucking Miku Dio. Remove those. Honestly, probably remove those for right now. And then long as shit. Effectively. Is the kind of shape that we're going for. And we want these to probably be a little further up. Okay. Copy this. And then really hoping it wouldn't let me put it at that angle. There we go. Absolute Goliath of a tail fin right here. But we'll buff it out a little bit. So stop that. I don't even know what button does that, and I don't know why that's a thing that I even can do. But it sure is. Alright. So okay. So we're gonna put the T-tail on on the lower half of this sort of surface. Shit, I grabbed it again. What the fuck? Damn it. Okay. That'll do. Move these forward a bit. And then we get these. We put them in the back. And we make them really fucking big. And this thing starts to resemble Navy's aerobatics team flew ground attack jets? Interesting. In what? Like, when? Okay. Like, is this the Olympics? Do they do jet flying at Olympics? At the Olympics? Okay. 1980, 86. Gotcha. And where? Okay. Okay. Set those to control everything. But, yeah. Okay. These need to be maybe a little bit less obnoxiously big. Um, and then let's put some fuel in these. And we can take some fuel out of these. Um, yeah. Yeah, that looks alright. I have no earthly idea what that's supposed to be. Ugh. Okay. Oh. I see what that was supposed to be. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Here is hoping that this thing is capable of doing the U2 ass contracts that we have set out for it. It is quite light, I will say. Blue Angel's the Navy equivalent to the Thunderbirds. Ah. Oh, I missed your message that said, do you know that the Blue Angels used to fly A4s? I did not. A4... That's one of the SR-71 things, right? No, A4 Skyhawk. I see, I see. Okay. So... let's try taking off in this thing. I think power-wise, this thing is going to actually be able to make it to Mach. It's just a matter of, like, can it sustain itself at those speeds? But, I mean, it has no difficulties getting off the ground. And it sure as shit can climb, so... I genuinely do wonder if we can bring this thing to supersonic speeds. And if so, how well? Because, I mean, that's Mach 1. Right there. And climbing a lot. Like, we can put this thing into an almost nose down attitude and still be climbing a good bit. But let's shoot for what we were originally going for. And the lights flickered?
Yeah.
Nice. Fun fact about Caroline's house, the wiring, not the best. Shout out to her electrician. The lights flicker whenever we do too many things on our computers all at once. Kinda scary. It's like the Thunderbirds flying A-10s. Gotcha. They've never flown U-2s in that manner, have they? Like, nobody's just, like, flown a U-2 for, like... I guess they probably wouldn't, because, I mean, you wouldn't be able to see it. The whole point of the U-2 is that it flies so high you can't see it. That's a bummer, though. You two is so cool. All right. Hauling ass up to altitude. We may need a third engine. We may just need a third engine. In which case we can totally make something that is capable of that. And is capable of like the Mach 2 and this. You said Super Hornets. I know what the F-16 is. And I know what a Super Hornet is. If you had said F-18, I would have knew what you meant. But I'm like a fake aviation fan, so I don't know their colloquial name. I just know their flight code. Their like alphanumeric name. So yeah, I think we need a third engine. We can probably take this tail configuration and these wings, put them on the Miku that we had, and get that thing up there. Yeah, we can't climb this thing fast enough. I want to see how these wings perform at what is likely their top speed, somewhere near Mach 2. The answer is quite surprising, which is decent. I mean, we're getting high dynamic pressure, but we can pull out of the dive. In fact, we can pull rather hard out of the dive and be fine. So, I think something like this, as far as like wing span is concerned, could actually work for a supersonic aircraft. Now they fly F-18E/Fs. But yeah, we can hypothetically bring this thing to 22 kilometers. We just can't keep it there, which is the challenge, essentially. So I'm going to hop over to the spaceplane hangar. I'm going to run to the restroom, and then we're going to try putting these wings on the original Miku. All right. So Save that as the X2B. Open up this original, or well, actually, we're going to want to open up the one from my sandbox save, as that one has the lightweight modifications that we need. So first thing we want to do is we're going to want to move, we're going to want to make these a little shorter. Maybe 2.5, probably less round, and then make these longer. And then we're going to want to move all three of the intakes more forward. About like that. And then take that off. Whoops, not a U. I. And then open, don't save. And current game. X2B. We want to put them round about there. Take off this tail plane. Move this central stripe up enough that we can access this. And do something kind of like that. Might even want to make these shorter still. Let's get this into a little bit more easily workable situation, or position rather. And 6 maybe. And then we want to put more of our fuel forward than like in these. And maybe even in this like large central front tank. Okay. Like that, and then wonder if we put them here, how that affects stability. Let's decent. Yeah, something kind of like that. We honestly don't need this to be quite as big. And we can move, Jesus, that's hard to see. We can move these inwards like that. And that should work fine. And then, I don't know, we do something like that. Whoops, grab something I wasn't supposed to. That's fine. Okay. Okay. We'll try this. Yeah, we'll try this. 15 tons. It's actually pretty much perfectly sized. And then we'll just grab that. Put it round about there. Flip gear. And then steering lock, strut angle, wheel angle. Something kind of sort of like that. With a little bit of an extension. And yeah, that should be good. So let's see how this flies. And hopefully it flies pretty well. Okay. sure as hell gets off the ground. So, and sure as hell can go supersonic. Let's try to not bring it too terribly above the speed of sound this low. Else we probably rip the wings off. Oh my god, don't do that either. Okay. We have a very high climb rate, but it's one that we're maintaining pretty damn well. Okay. Okay. Give this thing a little bit more control authority. Oh god. Fuck me. Shit. Shit. Nope. Nope. Okay, maybe 15? 15 sound negotiable to you? Okay. We need you to do your job, but harder. What? Do your job, but harder?
Do your job, but harder and more.
Many such cases. Okay. I mean, it can get to 22 kilometers, but I would not feel comfortable saying that this thing can cruise at that altitude. Definitely not at low speeds. See, what if we just cut the engines? God, why are you... Let me see what the, COM is doing. It's just getting asymmetrical lift. I don't know what the hell this is about. Well, that seems to have helped. Like, immensely. Might just be that we're at low alt, but seems decently stable up here. Well, it definitely... Good God. Don't do that. It definitely can handle itself up there. Let's see about getting to 600 meters per second, though. Okay. Ignore max temp, because we're probably going to need that in order to, be able to sustain these speeds. I mean, that's Mach 2 right there. I think 650 is where it needs to be at. And there's 650. Let me see if I can level out at that speed, but... Yep, there's positive climb. And if we throttle up, we can maintain it. I didn't think this thing could go fucking Mach 2.5, but... Looks like Miku can do whatever the hell she wants. Miku Dayo. There's some of the worst wings for Supersonic I've ever seen. Yeah! Same! But, I mean, blue hair, blue tie, fucking cruising at Mach 2 with wings that go straight out. What can I say? Let's see. Yeah, we can even do this without ignoring max temperature, which is insane to me. I want to see what this thing can do climbing. Like, what is the maximum altitude that we can reasonably hit with this thing climbing it out of Mach 2? Because I would reckon it is high as shit. Oh, God. Wow. Holy shit. About 25 in a crazy flat spin. Let's see about stall recovery, shall we? Just really set this thing and forget it. Oh, yeah. Stall recovery at 18 kilometers. That is nice. Ooh. It needs more horizontal stability. I need a longer tail. That is my only complaint, is that this thing has a habit of getting into horrible to recover from flat spins. On account of it having this tiny little tail. But other than that, not a lot of major complaints. Miku seems to be flying stupid as shit, but flyable. Though, to hit 650, we need to be above probably 15 kilometers altitude minimum, as to not melt our engines off. But fuck me if we can't do it. We might be able to sweep things back a little bit. We might be able to do a couple other things, but I'll tell you what we can do, and that is cruise this thing comfortably at Mach 2 and somewhat nail-bitingly at 22 kilometers. So, let's see how it lands. If I can bring it in for a ditch, then I'll count that. I don't have to successfully land it, but I do have to successfully guide it to the ground. So yeah, complete loss of power. We'll go ahead and shut down all three. I mean, it glides as good as it looks like it would glide. Which is to say pretty damn well. And we can get pretty respectable sort of descent. And that's a successful ditch. I don't think we broke anything. No. We're golden. Cool. Can we eject? Yes. Don't have a parachute, so it's not going to do me much good. But yes. Oh, you definitely just broke your neck. Godspeed, Kristen. Godspeed. I mean, I'd say that works. Needs more of a tail fin. But yeah. Both the pilot and the plane can be described as she's fine. So let me get this tail fin to be a little bigger. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, same, but only under the perfect conditions. It's like a toss-up if they die immediately upon touching water, which is funny because they're probably amphibians. So you would think that would not be nearly as much of a worry. Okay. So set these not to control roll, set them to have about 25 degrees of movement. Set this to have about 30 degrees of movement. Set this to have about 30 degrees of movement. At least that is what I chose to believe. They're plants. Yeah, I do like the Kerbals crash into things to spread spores hypothesis. It's definitely a fun interpretation of them. But I question if this thing is capable of going supersonic now with this massive ass tail. But I feel that if those wings didn't stop us, nothing is going to. Realistically. Wait for program. Okay. I am going to run really quickly and grab some pistachios because my hands are getting a little shaky. I'll be right back. All right. Jesus. My hair looked terrible. All right. Crack open a couple of these really quickly. Okay. So, since we didn't change anything that should even in theory affect takeoff, I'm not going to bother about it. And I'm just going to get this thing in the air. Ah, fuck. Right. I forgot it had a tendency of doing that. Well, surprisingly, it can flip itself completely right around. As if nothing happened. Ooh. Neither do your lights, it sees.
No, it's not.
Climb, baby, climb. Put about 25 degrees of pitch authority on this thing. What are you playing?
Potion making game.
What's it called? Potion crafting. Or potion craft?
Potion.
Interesting.
Potion craft, yes.
It looks decently fun. It looks like some medieval version of Papers, Please. Instead of fucking busting immigrants, I guess. I don't entirely know what the plot of Papers, Please is.
Terrorism, patriotism.
Right! I forgot there's terrorism in that game.
Democracy!
Okay. Get this thing down to a point where it can hopefully gain a little bit more speed. Whoops. Well, I'll get that one after stream. So. Damn. We kind of flatlined here. Oops. Okay. Pitch up a bit. A little bit more. Okay, positive climb. Let's see where this gets us. Hell, we might do both of these contracts in a single flight, as it looks like to climb this thing that high, we're going to need to get it to Mach 2. Just to even put it at that altitude to begin with. Okay, we are losing our climb rate a little bit, but I can afford to lose speed. Can afford to lose quite a bit of speed. 25 meters per second upwards is pretty healthy. Okay. Okay. Now we just cut the throttle. And slowly pitch the thing up. Ooh, don't do that. No, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Are we generating asymmetric thrust or something? No. Something is asymmetric on this plane. Must be. Because we are at the limit of our yaw authority. Oh. Fuck. Motherfucker. Don't know why it is really just wanting to yaw to the right. Can't even really pretend to understand that. But to put it in a roll to the right, it seems to not hate that. Nothing looks asymmetrical on it. But we can definitely get it to 22 kilometers. I don't know how long it needs to cruise there. I think the contract is completable. What is uncertain is if I can complete it. In theory, the plane should be capable. Practice, I don't know. 5 minutes. Fuck me. Hmm. One is moving to a non-all-moving tailplane. Another is adding sort of yaw control surfaces on the wing. And I'm gonna try that one first. Yeah, basically my thinking is we just add these sorts of things on the wing for yaw stability reasons. No idea how realistic this is, or if it could work. It at least seems like it might be a good idea. Yeah, nothing on that should be asymmetrical, but we'll see. Second change is we would just make these the sort of roll control surfaces. They would be solely dedicated to that purpose. These only having a slight roll control. And then basically making these like that. And giving them just pitch, no yaw. We'll name this the X2C Miku. But that should work, maybe, possibly. I don't really know. And it might help to extend the wings even more, just give it more surface area, but I'm not 1,000% sure. But that at least looks capable. So we'll give this a shot. We're also going to make this the root part, because that has been a problem with some of the previous versions. And let's see how this flies. Only thing is these little wing devices will add drag. Oh, what the fuck was that? I just noticed we were very out of our pitch authority. Hmm. Let's try just air launching it. Okay, what is happening there? Hmm. Hmm. It looks like our center of lift is being thrown pretty violently forward. So moving the center of lift back might be the key there. Um, Toggle these. I feel like small control surfaces on these may not be the worst idea. Um, okay. Hope that was not placed in symmetry. Okay. Okay. We'll give this a little bit less authority. Let's see how this flies. Okay. Wondering if maybe this does not have enough role authority. Maybe that's it. Tell you what, it definitely doesn't have enough pitch authority. Damn. Yeah, it just can't control its own pitch. Okay. Switch back the old tail. Let's see if that helps. Well, let's try this. Moderation enabled. That looks okay. Sure seems to work. Other than the weird rolls. Hmm. What a bizarre little plane. Named after a bizarre little anime girl. But I mean, hell if it ain't flying. We need to probably gain more speed, though. A little bit more nose down. A little bit more nose up. There we go. And once we get up to altitude, we can probably shut down those two engines. Just run on the center. Should probably action group it so that that button toggles it. Just so we can, what's the word? What am I looking for? So we can avoid a weird yaw happening. I mean, we're gaining climb speed, which is good and not expected. But I think that's because we're still accelerating. Yeah, there we go. There's the point where we're not accelerating. So we need to climb around about here. Probably more than this. There's 21. And there's 22. So we level off. Just to the point where we're not climbing so much. We shut down both side engines. And we can declutter. Flight recorder. Mark. Well, actually, we can't truly mark it yet. God damn, we might be able to pull off 45. All right, mark. Having fun over there? Okay. Don't know what that was. 270 appears to be the minimum speed we can hold. Come on, baby, spool up. There we go. Okay. If we can maintain for 2.5 minutes, I would call that good enough. I mean, we're losing speed, but we're not losing speed fast. We're losing climb, but we're not losing climb fast. I'd say all things considered, we're in a pretty stable position. We're gaining a little bit of speed here. That is a minute of stable flight. Above 22 kilometers. Looks like some weird hybrid between the U-2 and like a Harrier jet. I kind of fuck with it. Okay. I'm gonna punch in just a little bit more pitch. There's 2.5. Might just go for the 5. See if we can do it. A little bit more. There's 3.5 minutes. What is our pitch angle? 14.2, angle of attack 14.1. That sounds about right. There is about 4.5 minutes. And that makes 5. All right. Begin our descent. And for shits and giggles, let's see if we can get this thing up to Mach 2. Shall we? Declutter. Okay. $580. $590. $600. Pitching up a little bit, as we want to try and climb 615. There's 620. Level out. $625. God, it's hard to make this thing not climb. 630. Because yeah, it's gonna start climbing here in a sec. There we go. Never had a plane so stable in low speed and high speed flights. At low angles of attack and high angles of attack. This thing just flies. Miku is a magical plane. Who would have thought? Okay, there's 640. Probably gonna level off around 17.5. Oh yeah, right around. Um, 645. Come on, Miku, punch it. You've got this. 647, 3 meters per second short. $648. $649. Come on, we're within spitting distance of this thing. $650. And accelerating. I want to see this thing climb just so that I can know it can maintain this speed. And that's positive climb at 650.8. We'll round it up to 651. Not too shabby for a plane that looks like this. All right. Nut. Good catch.
Nut.
You got two.
Oh. Scavenge for them?
Yeah.
Like a mouse? Oh, here's one.
Here, if you want to put the shells in here. Nuts really are just like way better than they have any right to be. I'm not entirely surprised by that fact, but okay. Amarillo, please. Set fill color white. Okay. What is the number that Miku has tattooed on her arm? Or am I misremembering that she has that?
I think it's a 01.
Well, this is 02. Unfortunate. So these are the more advanced version, but we don't really need those. That is what we need. So, whoops. Yeah, cancel, cancel. We don't really need to tool it. We're gonna probably not build more than one of these things. Though we can, I believe, put a camera on it. But let's just build one first. Comms. Tech level 0. Launch. Integrate anybody. Let's see if a camera will fit. Oh shit. Miku with camera. Miku hiding in your webcam. Your worst nightmare. You hate to see it. Okay. We'll probably put a camera on it for other flights, for later flights, but for right now, it doesn't really need one. Don't save. And I'm gonna take a restroom break, and then we can go ahead and launch the Blahage. That plane has no right working as well as it does. But I'm not complaining. I mean, I would much rather have a plane that works than doesn't. Ah. Okay. Caroline, who is gaming right next to me, is losing her mind. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. So if we remove all of these. 32 days. Miku's probably more important than that. That said, we can afford like 8 engineers for the Blahage. The Blahage 1, that is. Damn. It really just does not go much faster. Oh no, we can only do 43 engineers on the craft. Fascinating. So I guess craft size matters in that regard. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. But that does make sense. Let me see what my budget's gonna look like. Because if we rush this as well. Ooh. Price that makes that expensive. Yeah. We have until when? Complete this. 1956? We'll be good. Let's just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and drop a quick save. Warp to complete. And we can go ahead and start building a second Blahage. Or rather, a Blahage 2. A first Blahage 2. Probably build 2 of them, I would reckon. Because that'll give us... Between the 2 of them, that should give us a full... camera's worth of time. So we'll do that. Launch complex 3. Digital structure. Ooh. Where's your other tank that you're not telling me about? Oh, right here. Are you tooled? You are not tooled. Alright. Show HUD management staff. Hangar. We're gonna do that. 24 days. We'll do that. 44 days. And then what is your maximum? 154. And Blahage 1's not that important. Okay, 154. 612? Oh, no, 1528. 612. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, what happens if we double that? It's still not great. What about tripling that? Which would be what? 16 times 3 is 48, I want to say. That's acceptable. We're gonna tool that. It's gonna be really fucking expensive, but it will do. Avionics prototypes, we don't have it yet, but we will soon. Now, won't we? That should do. We should conventional structure, aluminum stringer. Where do I have one of those exactly? Can you point to it? Oh, fuck me. I can. Tool all. Upsetting. Okay. What do you mean size limit? Oh, because the fairings are open properly. One, two. Okay, that sucks. But we can hire more engineers and make it suck less. Hopefully. So, Launch Complex 1. Let's just scrap these because we're never going to fly these again. That's for certain. Dismantle. Yeah, unfortunately. I'll say 2. Are we ever gonna use you? Probably not. Everything you can do, your bigger brother can also do. So we will dismantle that as well. Now, staff. Maximum staff on this thing. That'll do. That'll do. We'll get the science for this. And we'll do that probably on the second flight if the first one works. Okay. We'll do that. We should definitely do that and this with these two, which is good. Now we're not going to be able to fly Miku for a little bit because we need to unlock this node to be able to do so. But we'll have her fuselage built and we can plug in the engines subsequently thereafter. Do we get an upgrade for the jet trainer cockpit at any point? Probably not. Does not appear to be, no. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna get early science here in a bit. And then the next material science node, and that should more or less be it. Nominal deadline. Nominal deadline. Okay. We're gonna have a person in space in probably 1959 at the latest, which is pretty damn good. Avionic prototypes. Well, let's warp to Miku. 3, 4, 5. I should have waited off on hiring those last 10 engineers. I should have just not bothered. But Fire 10. Sorry guys. You're getting laid off. Budget. Wow. Wow, Jesus. That's not even that much of a time save. Let's not do that. Also, let me make sure that these have the experiments that I need on them, because that is important. Configure experiments. They don't have any. Fuck me. All right. That'll do. That'll do. So yeah, save it. Okay, scrap that and then just duplicate this. And that'll carry over the experiments that we need. Warp to complete. And then begin rollout immediately. Yeah, that'll do. Quick save. Warp to rollout. And oh, I don't. What did I just warp to? Oh, we got something research-wise. Or another. Avionics prototypes, maybe. Looks like. We'll go ahead and upgrade this thing's avionics. Because we probably should. I'm going to see how much that'll actually impact it. Then we'll worry about it. But because if the impact is only 100 meters per second, we can go without that. Avionics prototypes. Oh yeah, it's less than, I would say. So 125. What about if we do just get the Blahaj too? You get these avionics. It's 125 versus what? 118. There's actually no point. We get like 30 meters per second extra, and it takes longer. There is no point. Alright, well, glad I checked. Okay. I don't feel like this being a nighttime launch, so. Let's warp to sunrise. Okay. Send it up. Okay. So to complete this contract, we need cross Kármán line and 200 kilometers downrange. That is decently easy. Let's get rid of these COL displays, because we're not going to need those. 200 kilometers downrange. We have that in the bag. Okay. Ignition sequence start. And lift off. Vehicle is supersonic. Good, healthy, all 5 engines. And we are locked into our pretty much final altitude here. Or final attitude, rather. Pitch over a little bit more, because we can afford to. And center it in. And we cross Mach 8. We sure as shit went faster than 800 meters per second. Go ahead and ditch the fairings. Planetary photography is running. And yeah, we just enjoy the view. What is our apogee? 350. pretty sure that we've gotten our downrange distance in the bag. Oh, easily. Okay. Good deal. What biome are we in? Let's see. Space just above Earth's tropics. We're going to go ahead and stage off our return capsule at about, we'll say 200 kilometers. That's what I've been doing in testing. It's been working fine. Okay. And off we go. I do have some level of science core in there. And we're back in the atmosphere. Bracing for re-entry. God, those clouds are pretty. Too bad the camera's pointed in the wrong direction. Let's see what kind of data we got on board. Planetary photography. Okay. Pretty decent amount. Please just don't hit the booster and break. Not a whole lot I can do to prevent that. But we appear to be in the clear. Unless that booster comes back to hit us. And there it is. Real high G forces as the capsule comes to a slow descent towards the Earth. Okay. Invalid situation. So, so maybe putting a camera on Miku actually won't do us anything. At least that would appear to be the case, given what I'm seeing here. Which is interesting, because it definitely used to be that you could take low altitude photography, but they must have removed that. Gonna lower the deploy altitude a bit. Just to speed things up a bit. But we have all three green. what's left of the rocket smashing into the Earth below. And fully deployed. Spinning like a madman, but fully deployed. Right. Yeah, that contract is done. We just gotta touch down safely. But yeah, we got 2 uncrewed altitude records and an uncrewed speed record. I would say this is a pretty damn successful flight. We'll just time warp to our landing. And our safe recovery. Wonder how much data that got us. I'm gonna guess 10 to 15. It's about the number I'd be happy with right now. Especially since that'll allow us to pretty much finish the sounding rocket portion of our current objectives. Oh my god, 13. Yeah, damn. Damn. All right. Well, early science, early material science. This unlocks the stringer tanks, yes. And then these 2 nodes are the only things that hold us back from achieving orbit. In actuality, as this engine right here is our 2nd stage engine. The S-253 and the baby sergeants are our sort of upper stages. So that's all we got. Of course, we got to research all of it. There's a lot left to research, but that will allow us to reach damn high. And hopefully make it all the way to orbit. So this is probably the next priority, as this will allow us to do the trying to find words, the full suite of downrange contracts. But this, I believe, unlocks the Veronique engine upgrade, though this will allow us to do a decent bit of the X-Plane contracts. Unfortunately, we have to have this to get the last contract, which is crewed spaceflight. But I'm more interested in getting to orbit. So I'm gonna get the solid rocket motor contract, I believe. Okay. We're locked in. And let me just see real quick if we can't bump this up. 286 days is a lot, but we can probably repurpose this second one or a third Blahaj 2 for that purpose pretty easily. Now, I would like to see if we cannot knock out, at least Delta V wise. Who locked you in? Where are the keys? Oof. I'm in prison, Beastie One. But I'd like to see if we can do Delta V wise the downrange and extreme downrange contracts using Blahaj 2 Baby Sergeant. Because if we can, we have our vehicle already, and we can pretty much start working on it. Minute 48 overburns it a little bit, but that's not a terrible thing. So save that. We're gonna do Alicorn real quick. And basically just rip all this off. That's 3 kilometers right there. You know, it's gonna be cutting it close. But I'd say we should be able to just kind of do this shit. And that does do the 7 kilometers per second that it is meant to do. For the, I think that's 5 kilometer downrange. Contracts? Or no, not 5 kilometer. What the fuck am I saying? 5,000 kilometer. Would this be size limit exceeded? Okay. Height limit of 24. Okay, we'll do 22. That should not be a particularly hard thing to do. We tool it. 116 days is not, that's really not bad at all. Yeah, we have that unlocked. Let's see how this works. Yeah, we just launched our first successful Blahaj 2. Got like 13 sites, I want to say. And yeah, we basically have everything we need to complete the remainder of the, I forget which exact, or which sounding rocket one it is, but it's the non-downrange. And I'm now just kind of preparing to do the downrange contracts. Getting close to the good stuff. Oh yeah. I already have an orbital vehicle designed. We are 1 tech node now away from being able to get to orbit. I'm tempted to push it and to just skip the part where it would tell me sort of when to go to orbit and just go for it. Once we have the tech. And I might. Because the thing is that I could just do, instead of doing this downrange configuration, I could just go for orbit, and that'll count as downrange. Because infinite downrange is higher than 5,000 kilometers. You can quote me on that one. So that should work. Not 100% sure. But yeah, we're going to want to take off and work our way to about a 45-degree pitch angle. Except it'll be... Well, actually, we have the ability to roll. It is a pitch angle now. Wow, would you look at that? We actually might even want to go lower. Yeah, let's shoot for about a 25-degree angle above the horizon. And just pray to God that this separates cleanly. Staging. Oh, fuck. I staged that early. Whoops. I saw the burnout on all the engines, and it was just the one. Anyway, that stages decently. But let's try that again. Did they remove the payload requirement for downranges? They did not. And that might kill this. I really just want to see how close this is, minus the payload. I know that my orbital rocket can do 50 payload, though. I have tested that. It can do 50 payload to orbit, which is... Oh, fuck me. Well, what if we just run without the fairings? How does it like that? Just Chinese rocket style. Things are falling off at launch. Yeah, we want this thing to climb more than it does anything else. But by the end of it, we do want to be pointed pretty strongly downrange. I want to say they recommend about a 30-degree pitch down. And this time I'm not going to prematurely stage. Oh, camera shake. Let's... Is there a way to turn that down from here? I know I can turn it down in general, but let's see. Gameplay, UI, flight elements. Video and graphics? No, I would have to change that from the main menu for some reason. Just had the orbital rocket early. So sent it to orbit for science and downrange. Yeah, more or less. Okay. Let's see what this is capable of. I mean, that sure seems close. That's at least the 3,000 downrange in the bag. But, I mean, judging by the fact that we are just crossing apoaps, I would say that that's also 5,000? Probably. Yeah, 5,000 almost exactly. So, that is a acceptable route. We would need, obviously, the payload on it. And, you know, we might need a little bit more Delta V, but that's an okay route. We can do that. That should hypothetically work. And that would definitely be a faster way than just going to orbit. Now, Alicorn's already built, or at least already designed. And we very well could just use that. I don't know if that would be... Ah, fuck. Move the damn... There we go. I don't know if that would be disqualified due to... That's not what I'm looking for. That's also not what I'm looking for. Hold on. I don't know if that would be disqualified due to it not technically, like, being in the atmosphere anymore at the end of the flight. But I feel like that should count. But regardless, we do lose quite a bit. If I'm being honest, we do lose quite a bit. But it looks like I can make that up. Simply removing all of the electricity from the science core, which is a choice. It also gives this much more of a unicorn narwhal-esque look to it, but that's not the worst thing. So we'll name this 5,000 kilometer Blahaj. I know, very original name. Pointier the better. Yeah. It's like one of those, I forget what they call it, but they're like a drag reducing device where it, like, moves the shock front out. Except we're moving it way the fuck out. It's actually a re-entry device. It moves the entire plasma wave so far away that it just ablates down this little rod. That totally would work. I promise. Okay. These need so much more ejection power. But that should work. Best part about it is we can build it in 112 days. On a launch pad that we have right now. Because this rocket, minus the little thing on top, is our film return and our advanced biological sample launcher. So it's already pretty damn qualified. And I very well might just build two of them, use one for the 3,000, one for the 5,000, and then build the orbital rocket. Not 100% sure, but we might do that. R&D. I guess we really don't need that. But, I mean, we're finishing this in... Christ. Under 4 years, at the very least. We can probably... Let's see, where's the next one? Plutonian landing. Jesus. Is that crewed landing too? No. Ah, so there's no crewed Mars missions or anything. Damn. Well, maybe there is. Not 100% sure yet. How do we unlock all these things? Or crewed station. Oh, the misery. Yeah! What the fuck is that about? Basic rocketry, 25-kilometer crewed, or survivability tech first. Okay, so we'll probably get that pretty soon. Oh, but we can pick all this stuff. Ooh. Cockpit parts are not that important. OKB-1 core lev is acceptable. Not great, though, because it hinders our research. Chelome might be more our speed, because we already have everybody hired. Bell is okay. Douglas kind of sucks. JPL is not bad. I might do JPL. Ilyushin for leader or for contractor 1 is not bad. Flight research speed, that's not important. Aerojet's not terrible there. That's not bad either. Bell and Aerojet might be our two that we pick. Douglas would be good once we're actually like up and going. JPL's also not bad here. So I'm gonna quick save before I do this because it seems like something that could very easily fuck me over. But yes, I want JPL, which locks us out of these two JPLs. So we'll punch in Aerojet as well as our sort of main contractor here. And then we'll probably do Bell once we're more focused on our air launch capabilities. But that is not terrible. And that should give us these solid rocket motors quite a bit faster. Let's see. Is there any that reduce... We only have one astronaut. Is there any that reduce the sort of rate of research? Just in general research? Rocketdyne. Aerojet and Rocketdyne is a pretty good combo. We're doing a lot of research, so really cranking that out wouldn't be too bad. And then what does JPL do again? Research speed. So there's no real hindrance of hiring more people. We have a little bit less funding. We're operating at -6 or -7% funds, but that's not bad. We have enough. And I mean, I'm gonna do this one at either fast or breakneck. Kármán line we've done. Suborbital and trajectory and return we will have done and can do. Downrange milestone, we can do both those. We can get this done in a year. Easily done in a year. So I kind of regret taking X-Plane research when I did, but we should have it done. I don't know what this 126 is, because I assume 101 is confidence. Let me see if I can maybe... Yeah, reputation is 101. I don't know if 126 is our confidence. If so, we're probably not gonna have the confidence to do it at breakneck speed, unless we we can take that. Okay. So the next thing that I want to see really quickly is if we can modify Miku to be able to reach 40 kilometers with rocket engines. Because if we could do that, that's awesome. That's cool as shit. Don't know that we can, but I think we should give it a shot. Don't think it's the worst idea in the world. Worst that can happen is that we have to build another X-plane. But the best that can happen is that we have X-plane at home, more or less. I forget, are you pressure fed? You are. Damn it. Okay. Well, we should have the pump fed variant of this pretty damn soon. The bear variant, please. And then, yeah, early rocketry, we should have that pretty soon. I want to really just underfill these tanks. So 244 update. These ones are at 108. We're just gonna do 100. Update. And then central tank. We'll do maybe maybe 400. So that's 7 minutes. That gives us to climb like hell. Up to our altitude. I don't know what tank menu is open, so I don't know how to close it. Tank UI. 50. You could close, that would be delightful. Okay, now this, I think, is just this one, right? No, because there's something that has 100. Is it you that has 100? Yes, it is. Okay. So, yeah, we just fill the rest of this thing with rocket fuel, effectively. And it really should just about be that simple. That dry mass scares me a little bit, but we can put just like a pinch of beryllium or something in here that is going to be, you know, heavy. Lead ballast, maybe? We'll do beryllium. All right, and then reverse this order. That should be able to get to 40 kilometers if I've ever seen something that can. So let's fucking try for it, I guess. This thing is too heavy to take off from the runway on its own, but we can probably get it up there. If I had to guess. This thing's gonna probably top out around 16, 18 kilometers under jet power, just because it's under 2 engines instead of 3. It's gonna be a little bit weaker than the Miku is, but once we get it up there, we just light the engines and haul ass. This thing has a takeoff speed of about 70 to 100, somewhere in that range. So, why don't we have control? At least it usually does. There we go. There we go. Alright, gear retracted. Attitude adjustment. Let's display COL, COM. She is not happy. She's doing that rocking back and forth that she used to do, which I think is a matter of too much control authority. Maybe. Let's just punch it. Surprised the engines are even generating thrust up here. Let's get Smartass to control it. I think we can probably hit 40. It's gonna be hard. But we could probably do it. We're gonna need the cockpit upgrade, obviously. But it seems within reach. It seems like we just need to give it as much of this as possible and really just punch it off the runway. And go from there. Here retracts. Actually flyable now. Don't entirely understand what that's about. But yeah, punching this up, pulling back on the stick as far as we can. Let's get this thing straight vertical if we can. As that's going to be the fastest way we can climb this thing. I would think. Oh, maybe not. I guess we're barely generating thrust that way. Might have to toy with this off stream. Let's see. If we do infinite propellant here, because it's really just a matter of can we hold an attitude at which we can do this kind of climb. To which it seems like pretty much unequivocally the answer is going to be yes. But with the asterisk of not super safely. But I mean that counts. Okay, flame out at 44.5, we'll call it, kilometers. Oh, maybe not. I mean, they're still trying to generate thrust at 46. So, I mean, fuck, dude. Hypothetically, Yeah, they can generate thrust up here. Not enough to do anything meaningful, but thrust nonetheless. Yeah, it'll probably enter this sort of seemingly unrecoverable stall, but this aircraft's pretty remarkably stable and does tend to have a tendency towards getting itself out of these sort of positions. I think we do it and we put a drag chute on it so that if the pilot does this sort of situation where they're just unequivocally fucked, then we can at least get them out in a pinch. But I mean, it's stable. It's bobbing up and down like a motherfucker, but that's stable. We're even heading towards the runway, I think. Or no, we're not. But I mean, that is a landable position. If I was in control, I could nose down this thing, and I could. I'm not gonna say land it, but I could at least bring it down to the ground. It's locked into a pitch up attitude though, is the only problem here. So it's gonna naturally kind of give a bit. But I mean, hypothetically, we can reach altitudes up to about that. I kind of wonder if we can reach Mach 5. I highly doubt it, and I highly doubt we can do Mach 5 enough to do the contract with Miku. We're probably going to need a third aircraft for that, but maybe. Maybe. So we're going to call this the X2D Miku. 40,000 meter qualified, we'll call it. And then the X2E would probably just be, oh Christ. This is gonna be a pain in the ass to do unless I do like an engine plate or something. Which is exactly what I'm gonna do. Because I don't want to be bothered. 923. 923. So we'll do that. And we'll make it really thin. And we'll copy 3 of them over. This thing. This fucking thing. God damn. If this can't go hypersonic, I don't know what can. Good lord. And I mean, this is basically a brand new aircraft. For removing any sort of semblance of jet enginery and really just committing to the bit, I guess, that this is a rocket plane. This is what rocket planes look like. Oh my god. Let me grab you. Jesus. Alright. So yeah. Remove any kerosene. Where we're going, we don't need it. It's 21 tons on the fucking launch pad. But I will be damned if this thing can't break Mach 15. So It sure as shit doesn't have the wings for it. But let's see if it has the guts. 2 minutes of burn time is a little scary. We're gonna have to throttle back and then punch it once we get to altitude. But maybe. I'm gonna give it a solid maybe. So this would actually be the third Miku, the X2C, I guess it would be. Though it's E in our internal naming scheme because there's been so many fucking renditions of this plane. But yeah, let's haul ass. Infinite electricity. The game is lagging like hell, which is probably a sign of things to come, but we gotta at least try. Okay. Can you pull up for me, buddy? There we go. There we go. Get that gear up for me. Bring that throttle way back. And just enter the climb of your life, Miku. So I don't think we'll be able to do hypersonic below about 20 kilometers. But yeah, with an apoapse of about 15, we're gonna level it off. And we're going to just go for it, I guess. Throttle wide open. Mach 1, Mach 2. There's 3 times speed of sound. There's 4. I mean, this thing has it. That's Mach 5. Throttling basically down to nothing. This could reasonably do the X-15 contract. I hate to say that. I really do. But, I mean, shit, dude. Whoa! Mikudayo! Whoa! Fuck. I think that's because our pilot blacked out. But I mean, that hit Mach 15. There's no denying it. That hit Mach 15, or Mach 15. That hit Mach 5. That probed the hypersonic regime. Now, whether or not these big fat wings are doing us any good, whether or not, you know, whatever, debatable, but we can do it, it would seem, and do it acceptably well. So we might just upgrade the X2 Miku from a supersonic jet into a hypersonic rocket plane. Do I think that's a wise idea? Not at all. But it would be faster. I can't deny the fact that it would be faster. While we work on a suborbital X3, presumably also named after a Vocaloid. But yeah, that's not too bad. We'll see if it ever recovers from this flat spin. My guess is probably not. But with the correct aerodynamic inputs, it should be able to. Because, I mean, center of lift is behind the center of mass. It is flyable. So long as it's not literally falling in tail first. So, yeah. I'd say all cards on the table. That might be the case that we try that. In which case we probably don't even worry about the sort of intermediate upgrade and we just go straight for this thing. But I think that's going to be it for me. It's about 5 o'clock. I'm hungry. I gotta go eat dinner and then we gotta go run some errands. But yeah, I don't think anyone is here to see me off. But to the couple of people that showed up, thanks. And I will see y'all probably not next week, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Next Saturday is my move-in date. But see y'all around. Probably this Wednesday. And then next Sunday, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, that's all for me. I will catch y'all at the next one. Till then, adios.